Hello again and welcome back to Little K Artistry. I am Little K and today I'm in my studio working on another cloud pour, another 14-inch square canvas. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate you so much for being here and for spending a few minutes with me today. As promised, I am going to be working with purples, different shades of purple today, and I am going to, this is a follow-up from the last video that I posted, the blue and white. This one is going to be purple and white being the cloud mix. I have a couple of different purples that I want to try for this one, so I'm really excited about this. So this is a 14-inch square canvas, and this is my 24-inch spinner. I did make this myself because I wanted a larger size spinner. If that is something that you also would like to make for yourself, that is back in video number 89, I believe. The how-to for how to make this spinner if you want something a little bit larger for yourself. So here we are again, and I am working with some TLPs and some pearl paints. This is going to be the opposite of the last one that I did. The last one that I did was light in the center and darker on the outside edges. This one I want to be darker in the middle and lighter on the outside edge, hopefully. I only have one light color, so I am not sure how this is going to work out. I was thinking about possibly mixing in a pearl, a light pearl color, like a pearl blue, or maybe a pink. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna add Axolotl, which is a pink. So I am gonna add that one in as well because I've got 3 purples, and I've got a black, and then I've also got TLP's King of Payne, which is a dark blue. But I wanted like a contrasting color, so I am gonna go with Axolotl, which is also a TLP. Okay, so I'm gonna shout out the colors as I go. I will let you know what I'm doing. I'm gonna walk you through these. I have received some feedback recently, and it's conflicting. Some people are loving the fact that I'm not talking and I'm just playing the music in the videos. Other people are saying, why aren't you talking? We want to hear your instructions. So I'm gonna kind of mix and match and do a little bit of both, and you know, hopefully most people will be happy most of the time, which is really all you can hope for. Anyway, because I know I can't make everybody happy, but the point is to get the art out there, to show you how I make it. If you're interested in making this style of art, fluid art, this will show you how to do it. If you're interested in just watching beautiful art being made, hopefully you'll be entertained and you won't feel that you're wasting any time. So these, again, I will tell you, this is a cloud pour. I'm not doing a serious cloud pour. So I am going to be mixing the cloud mix in the cup with the paints. But this is, like I said before, this is the only style of fluid art that I do use US Floetrol. So my colors, my paint colors, are mostly mixed with US Floetrol, which is either 2 or 3 parts to 1 part of paint. I am using, let me go get the bottle. I am using some TLPs, which are piggies, which are, oh, let me come back around here. Okay, those are pigments. And what I do with the pigments, they come, well, some of them come in jars. If you use this little piggy, they'll come in a little jar like that. So they're dry pigments, and you mix them with your pouring medium. And a lot of you have asked how I do that. So I will suspend the pigments with a little bit of water just to moisten them. I always wear a mask and a breathing, have my air purifier on, and I always wear gloves, and I make sure that I open my windows if I can and put my air purifier on, because you do not want to inhale pigments because they're very heavy and they'll stay in your lungs. So that's bad. So make sure if you're working with pigments, please have a really good air purifier on, and the one that I use is linked down below in this video. I also will link these little cups with the lids. I link my torch and a bunch of other things down there. My spinner that I hang my paints on. So when I use this little piggy pigments, yes, I turn everything on, make sure that I'm safe. I will moisten the pigments with a little bit of water, and then I will mix them with my Sax acrylic gel medium. The whole point of mixing with this is to make them act like a tube paint, a thicker paint. So this thickens them up so that they're actually suspended in a paint, if you will. So you put the pigment in the water, moisten it, and then mix it with the Sax. This is what I do. I mix it with the Sax medium, and then it's like a tube paint, and then I mix it either 2 or 3 parts of the US Floetrol once I get it mixed with that. That is how I use all of my pigments. I have this little piggy pigments. I also have some that are from eye candy. I have a number of different pigments that I use, but if they're dry pigments, that's how I mix them. I'm going to start off here by showing you what I do to my canvas ahead of time. This is my Flow Aid and water mixture, and I'll show you the little bottle. This is Liquitex Flow Aid. You mix it just like it says on the bottle. 1 part Flow Aid to 20 parts water. The whole point of this is to get the very small amount of base coat to move around the canvas. Because, as I've said before, and you're probably tired of hearing me say it, if the paints in fluid art don't move, then it's stationary art. And I'm not doing stationary art today. I do that, but that's not what I'm doing today. This is fluid art, so it has to flow. The Flow Aid helps it do that. And I have to give Windsor credit for the Flow Aid because I did not find that on my own. Windsor uses the Flow Aid in a lot of her pieces that she uses, especially when she uses her brushes. She uses the Flow Aid and water mixture as well. So this, with a cloud mixture, all the Flow Aid and water does is it moistens the canvas so that the paints in the base layer, when I empty my cup out, I pour it onto a base layer, that base layer will slide really easily because you don't want it stuck on a dry canvas because then it won't move. And potentially you could end up losing part of your composition if your paints won't move the way that you want them to. So that's why I use that. A lot of artists don't. This is just how I do it. You guys don't have to do it this way. It's completely up to you. Okay. This is a 14-inch square canvas. This is a 5-ounce cup. A lot of people will look at that and say that does not look like enough paint. I don't like to waste paint. I like to put my composition on my canvas and then stretch it. I've found this out with trial and error so many times. If you use too big of a cup, most of the beautiful part of your composition will get spun off your canvas. And if you go back and look at the last video, the blue and white one looked like a planet. I did not want to spin it anymore. And thankfully, because I didn't put a ton of paint on my canvas, I was able to leave it just the way I wanted it. I could have kept spinning it and stretched it out and covered the whole canvas, but I really loved how it looks like a planet up suspended in the sky. You can go back and look at that video and see it if you want. So today, like I said, I'm using a dark center and then light on the outside edges. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with, this is King of Payne. This is TLP. It is a pigment. And I am going to put just enough to almost, can you see that? Almost covering the bottom of the cup. Not completely, just a tiny little bit. And that's a pigment, so will be relatively not translucent, but it will mix with the other colors. And the other color that I'm going to put right next to that is my Oxide black, because I do want a dark center. Not a ton of black here, guys, though, okay? Just a little bit. And because I also want I want 2 tube paints and then my cloud mix, I'm going to put this color as well. And this is Winsor & Newton Windsor Violet. Okay, now I'm gonna put in my cloudy mix. I'm gonna put in a good amount of the cloudy mix. Not a ton, but there's a good amount in there. Next to that, I'm going to go with my Pearl Purple. And then I'm going to go with my Pearl Lilac. And then I'm going to put a little bit more cloud in there. Then I want a little bit of this TLP Axolotl. Very pretty color. Then the lilac. I'm going to go again with a little bit of this Pearl Purple, but not very much because remember I wanted the outside edge to be lighter. Then a tiny bit more of the cloud. So I'm putting 3 layers of cloud this time. I don't usually use this much cloud. Then a little bit more of the axolotl. And I'm going to top it off with the Arteza Pearl Lilac. Okay? I do not know what this is going to look like, you guys. It could look absolutely horrible. All right. And I'm going to put a little bit of this purple down for the base coat. And you'll see when I start spinning this, how it just slides around. Because we put that little bit of, there we go, the flow aid. So it helps that to spin right out. Isn't that nifty? Love that. Now, not all the color is going all to the outside edges, that's fine. I will be spinning a good amount of this paint off. Worst case scenario, you guys, it doesn't come out the way you want on the outside edges. You can always take a brush, provided you know what colors you used. You can always take a brush when it's dry and touch up the parts that you don't like. Doesn't have to be perfect. Art is never perfect. Art is art. Here we go, you guys. Okay. Gonna hold my breath. Okay, got a little bit of a blip there. That's okay. Just take a skewer before I start stretching it. And just make a little thing. You know what I mean, a little doohickey thing. Okay, so far, so good. Dark center, lighter on the outside edges. That's exactly what I wanted. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some of these bubbles popped. Now the thing with a cloud pour is you really have to be patient, because what forms the clouds is the matte paints and the shiny paints pushing each other apart. And that happens over a period of time. So you kind of have to wait just a little bit and be a little bit patient for that to happen. So I want to clear up, if I've used the term reaction in previous videos, I want to clear that up right now. There is no reaction going on. And when I was first starting with fluid art, this kind of art, especially the clouds, the cloud pours and the pearl pours, I was thinking, or like cells when you're doing if you're doing a Dutch pour or anything like that, and you're trying to make clouds, it was this, I kept hearing and seeing this reaction. The paints are reacting to each other, reacting. And I was thinking that it was some kind of a chemical reaction. What are they putting in the paints that's making a reaction? It's not a reaction like a chemical reaction. The paints are just reacting to one another, in that some of them are more matte and some of them are shinier. So the smooth, shiny paints are are being pushed away by the matte, the more opaque, the matte paints. So anything that is a pearl, or if it is even the pigments will do it as well. They're not as shiny, so what they'll do is they'll push the other colors away. It's kind of like oil and water. It's not oil and water, but it's similar. So it's not a reaction. It's not a chemical reaction, but the paints are reacting to one another. I just wanted to clear that up. Wasn't sure if I had said that in the past or not, but it's definitely not, it's not a paint reaction. It's not a chemical reaction. They're playing nice, and we like that. We like it when they play nice together. All right, so I'm gonna spin this a couple of times just to see what we've got here. Oh my, that is pretty. Yes, that is very pretty. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and smooth this out just a little bit. And then it looks like there are gonna be a few more bubbles to pop. I apologize if I'm repeating myself, guys. I don't usually talk when I'm painting when there's nobody here or when the camera's off. I keep feeling like you guys are in here with me. It's because the camera's on. I don't normally talk. It's normally very quiet, as I explained in the previous video. It's normally very quiet in here, so if I'm repeating myself, I apologize. 1,000 pardons. Let's pop some more of these bubbles. Oh, I'm loving this beautiful light. This lilac color is so pretty. One of my favorite color combinations, if you recall, is the dark green and light green with the dark purple and light purple. I've done a couple of paintings. Actually, I'm going to show you this one real quick while this one's setting up. This one, if you've seen any of my other videos, you've probably seen this one in the background. That is one of my all-time favorites. I love the color combination, the dark green and the light green, the dark purple and the light purple with the clouds. That's one of my favorites, all-time favorite. That one is never leaving my studio. Just gotta get back up on the wall. There we go. Okay. I do like this one though. And I'm very glad I added that pink in, the axolotl, because you can't see it yet, but when I bring you in closer, you'll be able to see what it's doing. It's mixing with the gray and that blue. There's a tiny bit of the King of Payne right in the center there. It's looking really beautiful. Okay, now I can see it's a little bit lopsided, so I'm going to pull it this way a little bit and spin it just a couple of times. That's why I like having this paper on here. It's actually a puppy pad that I cut. That way I can just pull it in the direction that I want it to go, and I love that. It's very handy. Okay, so I'm going to spin this a couple of times this way. Okay, that's good. That's very good. All right. Few more spins. So in that last one that I did, the blue and white one on the dark background, I didn't spin very much of the back of the actual composition off because I really liked how it looked like a planet. But this one, I think I can spin a little bit more of it. Most of the composition that I'm really in love with is kind of right here in the center. This is so pretty, you guys. I really like this. Not as much of the dark in the center as I thought there would be. What I think I would like to do with the next one is these same colors, but I want to do a cirrus cloud pour and just put a little bit of the cloud mix in and see what happens with that. But this one I'm really loving. This is so pretty. I'm going to go this way a little bit because this corner needs to come off a little. That's better. Okay, this way a little. And I just pull the canvas just to the edge of the spinner. What do you guys think of this one? I'm really liking this. This is beautiful. Let's put that, I'm just trying to get the center in the center, and then I'm going to give it one more spin real quick. And sometimes what I do is just, if I need to, if I feel like I need to, I just touch up the edges a little bit. Maybe a tiny bit. Kind of touch up the corners and make them a little bit more, make so the corners are a little bit more blended. There we go. Okay, wow. Oh, I like this so much, you guys. What do you think? The King of Payne looks like it's kind of gray, but it's mixing with the clouds and the purple. It's so pretty. I'm trying to figure out what the composition is. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to bring you guys in a little bit closer so you can see what I'm seeing, hopefully. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. I'm thinking this is really, really pretty. Oh, I wish you guys could all be in my studio with me to experience this. It's just so wonderful. And if you guys know anything about me or my page, my channel here, you'll know that this is my therapy, for real. It started as my therapy with my therapist a couple of years ago, going through a really traumatic time in my life. And my art just sustained me. It took me 52 years before I discovered that I had some art hidden inside of me. And now it just wants to come out. And oh my word, look at those striped clouds. Those are so cool, you guys. Oh, this is so neat. Okay, I need to hear what you all think of this one. This one is similar, but also extremely different from that last one that I did that was blue. The blue and whites. Oh, I love them both. I can't decide. I'm going to do one with a green center next, I think. But I really want to try these colors with the cirrus clouds. So I have not done a cirrus cloud pour yet with my camera at this angle so you guys can all see it. That's what I'm going to do next. I'll do a series of the cirrus, that's hard to say that, a series of the cirrus clouds. And that way you can see, if you only want clouds in a very specific area of your painting, that's how you can do that. And they're the real wispy ones. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. I'm so glad that you were here. You took some time with me in my studio today. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do. And please share this. And if you have subscribed and you're returning, thank you so much for coming back and watching another video. I appreciate you so much. I will be starting in a little less than a week with a new series, and it's kind of exciting. I'm really excited to unveil it, so be watching out for that. Please subscribe so you can get notifications and you can see those new paintings and the new styles and all the fun stuff that's happening. coming up in about a week. So thank you so much. And again, this is Little K Artistry. I'm just reminding you, go make the art.